On February 11th, 2011, this is Polling You, number 39. Environmental factors continued on penalty doubles. Well, we're up to day 5. Welcome, Bridge friends. This is Michael here at BridgeHands, and we're going to continue on our discussion about environmental factors. Number 6 and 10 are coming up next, but let's take a quick look at number 1 through 5, just as a review. Number 1, the law of total tricks. That's where we have an 8, 9 card fit, an 8 and a 9 card fit, a double fit. That's good. We normally bid up to the level of the total number of tricks. We have a 9-card suit. Our partner has 5. We have 4. We like to bid up to the 3 level. We look at vulnerability, but that's kind of the basic essentials of the law. Number 2, the hand shape. If we have a 7-card suit, that's great, especially headed by honors. We have a 6 or a good 5-card suit, fine. If we have a shapely hand, meaning a 5-4-3-1 suit, then that suit distribution is better than a 5-4-2-2, which is better than a 5-3-3-2, which is better than, well, the flattest of all, the pancake hand, the 4-3-3-3. Okay, how about double fits? We spoke about those. Double fits can be our friend as long as our opponents don't have a bigger double fit, yes, where they own the master suit spades. The over and under, we like to have tennises that are behind our right-hand opponent. Not so good when they're in front of the left-hand opponent. And finally, the one that everybody should keep their eyes on most, the vulnerability. Correct. The vulnerability is the key to using the arbitrage of where we get game bonus versus where we get severely injured with under-trick penalties that are doubled for not making our contract. Okay, onward and upward. Let's look at number 6 through 10. Number 6 would be working honors. Working honors in our suits. So, if we have a sequence suit or tennises, that's a good thing. So if we have a ace, king 5 times, a king, queen 10 5 times, that's good suit. If we have ace, queen 10, that's fine. Ace, jack 10, that's fine. We have chances there for repeated finesses. When we have toppers in length, that's where we have a couple big honors and length in a suit. We'd rather have that than, say jack 5 times in a suit. How about a ace-king tight or king-queen tight? Well, oftentimes those are worth 1 less than we would like them to be. Sometimes they can work well where we have a good fit with partner on another suit. Then we have 1-2 rounds of controls and can rough the third. That's nice. But in no trump, these don't really carry their weight, do they? Because they're not good to promote the suit. They only provide stoppers when they're trying to promote their suit. And then the race is on in no trump. Okay, distance between the hands is not a good thing. So if we have an ace, queen, 10 all in one hand, that's better than if we have ace in one hand, queen in the other hand, 10 back in the first hand with the ace. That's not as good because we're more likely not to be able to set up a suit. Slow promotional, that would be like where we have king 5 times, queen 4 times. Those sorts of suits are very questionable. The ace 5th is certainly better than queen 5th, and a king queen 5th is certainly better than a jack 10 5th. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. Ace king queen 5 times, great. Unless they have jack 4th against us, we're in good shape. Ace queen jack 6 times, also very good. We have 1 finesse opportunity, but as long as our partner has a doubleton, we should be in good shape on a suit like this. How about ace jack 10 5 times? Very good. We get chances for repeated finesse. We go to our partner's suit. As long as they have 2 in that suit, we then try 1 finesse. And if that doesn't work, we try the second finesse, possibly setting up a good 5-card suit. Next, king queen 4 times. That's not a bad suit. That could work if the ace is to our right. Could be a nice hand. Queen 9-8 5 times, not so good. It's going to take a long time to promote it. And if the tennises are by our left-hand opponent holding ace, king, jack over us, or at least some combination, it'll take quite a while to set up this suit. And if we don't have a lot of other entries, not so good. Okay, number 7, direct versus the pass-out seat. First off, when we're in direct seat and we make bids, we typically show some extras. We don't have to bid to keep the auction alive. And when it's a competitive auction, that's what we're speaking about here. When we make a direct seat bid, we normally show little extras, especially at the 3 level. Pass out seat, well, then we're trying to keep the auction alive, right? We're borrowing a king. So we like to keep these low auctions alive at the 1 and at the 2 level. 3 levels oftentimes belong to the opponents. But if we have the right kind of shape, that law of total tricks, or those shapely hands, we'll push to the 3 level. Remember, we're talking about hands where we maybe have 18 to 22 points on each side, a good competitive auction. Be cautious, though, when we're at the 3 level and vulnerable. If we already did a sign-off bid at the 2 level and we push on now to the 3 level, the opponents might be getting itchy to give us a big double. So be a little careful. Watch that vulnerability. And remember, partners may be perfect, but their hands don't normally meet up with the same level of expectations we have for them. So be careful. Don't expect them to have the perfect hand. As Barry Crane said, they won't. Okay, number 8, passed hand bidding. Well, when we have a passed hand, we normally limit our hand. Yes, it is possible that we couldn't make an overcall because we didn't have the right shape. Couldn't do a takeout double because we had a doubleton suit. Maybe did have opening values, but that's a rarity. So we can always upgrade our hand, do a reassessment based upon distribution points. When our partner overcalls and we either have a lot of length in that suit or moderate trump support and shortage in their suit, we can do a reassessment, give ourselves some distribution points. Remember, we also want to use that law of total tricks. And finally, the over and under. Remember we spoke about on the over and under before, where we have tennises over the right-hand opponent? Good thing, great thing. When our left-hand opponent bids a suit that we have like a king-jack, bad thing. Environmental factor number 9 is where we overcall. We haven't opened. We're actually beginning an auction by doing an overcall. When an opener bids, they're showing 12 all the way up to 21 points. And when we overcall, we're limiting our hand between 8 and 17 points. Remember, if we have 18 points or more, then we normally do a double, and then we bid our suit, if we have a long suit, or we do a double and then we bid a no trump or something like that. So when we do an overcall, we are limiting our hand. We may have as few, in fact, as maybe 8 points with a 5-card suit, especially at the 1 level. Watch the vulnerability, though. If we are vulnerable, then we're going to have to be a little bit more careful than if we're non-vulnerable. Particularly, we're looking at the levels of the auction. Okay, number 10. How about primary versus secondary honors? Sure, of course. When we have aces and kings, they are our friends. Quick tricks. And when we have queens and jacks, well, the jury is a little bit more out on that, isn't it? We're not so sure if our partner has some working honors with us, although it's disassociated in the other hand, which we spoke about before. We would prefer them to be working. But when we have just queens and jacks, it's going to take a while before we're going to set up those tricks. And it might be just as well off if we are on defense if we have queens and jacks. Environmental factors, number 6 through 10. Let's take a look at them in summary. First off, working honors. We like it when we have honors that are all in the same hand. When they're disassociated, that is some of them in our partner's hand, not working so well. Or when our honors are spread across 4 different suits, ace in one, king in another, queen in the third, jack in the fourth, that is not worth 10 points. Okay, let's take a look at direct versus pass-out seat. When we're in the direct seat, especially in competitive auctions at the 2 level, at the 3 level, we normally have a little bit of extras. When we're at the pass-out seat, we tend to borrow king, borrow a couple points from our partner, because we're struggling to keep the auction alive, and we trust that our partner will not punish us. That when we're a little bit of a hero, keeping the auction alive at the 2 level, our partner isn't going to jump to the 3 level vulnerable. How about passed hand bidding? Well, when we're a passed hand, we are limiting our hand to about 10 or 11 points. Yes, it is possible we could have had a full opener and couldn't done a takeout double because we had a doubleton and a side suit, but that's a rarity. Normally, as a passed hand, we know we can limit our hand, especially when there's an open with 12 to 21 points and the responder shows 6 points or more against us by bidding. We kind of have a good clue that there's almost half the points spoken for already. Overcalls. When we open, we have 12 to 21 points. When we overcall, we're limiting our hand between about 8 points at the low end up to about 17 points. So that 9-point spread is ratcheted down about 4 points when we're doing an overcall. And lastly, the primary versus secondary honors. We love it when we have aces and kings. Quick tricks. versus queens and jacks, especially if they're disassociated honors that are not working in the same hand. Those tend to be negative attributes. So I hope you enjoyed environmental factors number 6 through 10. Let's go ahead and dig in, take a look at some hands. On hand number 1, we're going to have North as the dealer, and this is going to be another one of these Friday specials where it's what's wrong with Waldo. We'll do this hand several times. It won't always work out so well the initial times. You'll probably see a lot of errors. We'll see how many you can catch. And the Groundhog Day special. Yes, we're going to do it over and over and over again. 8 times, would you believe, till we get it right. So there's a lot to talk about this hand. Let's begin by starting the bidding. North, in spades, Queen 10 third, 2 points. Hearts, Ace 10 fifth, another 4 makes 6. In clubs, King Jack 4 times, makes 10 points. A stiff King of Diamonds. Well, normally we would give it 3 with a doubleton, give us 13. I like to discount 1 point in first seat. Obviously, if our partner bid the suit, we could give it full values. But in this case, I'd maybe give it 2 points. I think we could probably open this, perhaps. A little squeaky, a little touchy, but I would go 1 heart, counted as a 12-point hand. King ought to be worth something. And remember, we're speaking about today environmental factors 6 through 10. We have some primary honors. We have some working honors in the club suit. Not so sure about the Queen 10 at this point in time. Let's try 1 heart. Okay, over to East. East, you have King Doubleton in spades, 3. King Queen third in hearts, another 5 makes 8. In clubs, Ace Queen, 9 8 7, another 6, perhaps 1 distribution. So 8 and 6 makes 14, up to 15 points. We have an option of bidding 2 clubs. Some might even want to overcall 1 no trump with a very good 14-point hand. I think for us, though, we'll go ahead and bid like most mortals and just bid 2 clubs. Show our suit. Next to South. South in spades. Ace fourth. Hearts. Partner suit not so good. Stiff 2. In clubs. 10 third. No help there. In diamonds, though, very nice. Ace, Jack, 10, 9, 8. 5-card suit. So we have 9 high card points, plus it looks like potentially 1 distribution with an outside entry in spades. So I think in this case, yeah, we should bid 2 diamonds. We normally want to have, 10 points and a 5-card suit, and we come very close to meeting that criteria, so 2 diamonds. Over to West. Well, West, wouldn't you know it, with all this bidding going on, you certainly are not expected to have much, although you do have somewhat of an intriguing hand with a 4-4-4-1 singleton and partner suit. You'd sure like to see them be in a trump suit, wouldn't you? You'd like to see the opponents be in diamonds with your Queen fourth, or in hearts, your left-hand opponent. Bid that suit. You've got Jack 9-8 fourth, a reasonable suit. You're looking forward to further developments on this hand. Pass. Back to North. Well, North now, we're kind of sorry that we opened at all, aren't we? It's already up to 2 diamonds. We certainly don't like that suit with the stiff king. We can't pass. We have a choice to either bid 2 hearts, which we would like to have a 6-card suit. The gun is somewhat at our head because we're at the suit right beneath it. Otherwise, we would have to bid 2 no trump. And I would recommend that bid. Our partner is promising 10 points or more. When we're in a 2 no trump contract, we'd like to have 22 to 23 points. And if our partner has 10, well, our singleton King of Diamonds may provide some value after all. And with clubs bid to our left, that is, in East hand, we do have semblance of some stoppers here. So I think we're going to have to bid 2 no trump and just hold our breath. After that, East does a pass. Nothing else to say for South. Over here in West, we're kind of intrigued by this hand with her 4-4-4-1 shape. Even though it's in no trump, some things might surprise the opponents. So we pass. Okay, the opening lead is by East. East, you don't really have a good opening lead, do you? You heard diamonds bid to your left, a 5-card suit there. You know that your righty has bid 2 no trump. Doesn't seem to be too worried about your club suit. And with your King, Queen, third of hearts, their 5-card suit, that's not so great. Let's do a little bit more assessment of the hand before we start, though. Think about how many points North and South have. North has an opening hand. South sounds like they have 10. Between the two of them, they don't quite have 25 points. And how many points do we have? 14 high card? Yeah, we don't expect too much from our partner. Okay, let's see how this East leads. Like I say, first time around, it's Groundhog Day. May take a couple times through before we find out all the errors that Waldo does. The lead is a 6. And without much thought, we find that West does a Queen of Diamonds. We'll have to come back to that. Covered by the King of Diamonds by North, who comes back with a 2 of Spades to get to South's hand. Apparently going to try promoting the diamond suit. So after playing the Ace of Spades, what's this? They come back with another spade back to North's hand, to the Queen. Talk about that some more. Covered by the King over in East hand. Happily, they didn't lead that suit. Okay, what are they going to go to next? They're looking at the dummy, and they play, another diamond? Well, that's interesting. So at this time, the diamond suit is being promoted, and they're cashing out diamond tricks. Everybody else is discarding, and we see that North has been merrily pitching the hearts. So much for the 5-card suit. They're down to a stiff Ace of Hearts. The opponent should have been watching this. Let's see what happens next. Goes with a low club to the Jack, a pitch over by the West hand of hearts, and a Queen of Clubs by the East hand. At this point, they play a King of Hearts, splitting their King-Queen honors, to North's Ace, who comes back with a low club to the Ace of Clubs by East, winning the trick. And what does East play next? A Queen of Hearts, seeing that all those heart pitches were there by the North hand. It holds a low heart to partners Jack, and the Jack of Spade wins the last trick. So, Waldo didn't do so well. North-South were held to 7 tricks. Okay, let's try again, see how we do second time at bat. Okay, same hands, same auction, and what does East lead this time? The 6 again, and unfortunately, West, you're still playing the Queen of Hearts. We're going to need to speak about that some more. Covered by the King of Diamonds, who plays a low spade to the South's Ace. This time, much better, goes ahead and starts cashing the diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds, followed by the East-West. The Jack of Diamonds, the 10 of Diamonds, gets another trick, and the 9 of Diamonds wins the last trick in the suit. Okay, this time North has been pitching some hearts, keeping it heart doubleton, a little bit better, and pitching a club on this one. What's South going to lead now? Calls for a 10 of Clubs, and is covered by the Queen by West, who then plays a King of Spades, cashing out the spade, breaking the King-Queen hearts, covered by North's Ace, a Queen of Spades by the North hand, a low spade to East's Ace. But they've already made their 8 tricks, so they'll go ahead and conceding. Then East plays the Queen of Hearts and a low heart. So this time around, North-South, you did a little bit better. But East-West, when the 6 of Diamond was led, going up with the Queen, we're going to have to talk about that some more. Okay, so that will include the first part of our session for our free members. For those of you who have the BridgeHands membership, please go ahead and log in and see some more solutions. And we'll get into the reasons why playing the Queen of Diamonds is not correct because of the rule of 11, as well as some other tips and different techniques on this hand. So thank you all for coming. Have a good weekend playing bridge, and we'll see you next week. And for advanced members, we'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.